homies. Come sit down with me. Let me let you know what's going on. Really weird workout today. Not really on schedule at all, which is fine. This is meant to be just a whatever's comfortable kind of week. Work with what I got. Not stress too hard about it. So I'm going to just kind of let it be, and we're just going to learn from the experience, because that's all you can do. As you know, shoulder's been recovering. The rear delt was just really hard strained. It's been feeling great every day so far, and as it turns out, that I learned very quickly today, snatches just ain't snatching yet. It's the unfortunate lift that requires the most rear delt activation when I do the high pull, and the catch especially was not feeling great today. I don't know if it's been overused in general, but every time I've snatched this week, I either went too heavy and it hurt, or I did light deload stuff and it felt good. So that just means I went slightly too heavy. I ended up going up to about 205 today, and it's not that it's hard at all. Like, you'll see it. It just, like, especially on the pull up, the pull is not even, and then the catch is just really hard on my shoulder. It looks like it crashes on me really hard, even though I feel like I'm activating as much as I need to catch it as comfortably as I want, and that just didn't happen, and that's fine. You got to just deal with what's there sometimes, but it's definitely disappointing. So, and just at the very least, to not end the workout in a negative mindset, I went back down to just 135, because I'd already put in a good amount of effort. I didn't want to overdo it at that point. So went back down, just did like a super mini burnout set, just a set of 6, and which is like nothing at all for that kind of weight. But it's more so I just wanted to feel my core get a little tight, get that nice contraction in the low back, and more or less just make sure the technique was good, and at a light enough weight, it still flies the way I want it to, and that's great. That means the recovery is still happening, and today I actually felt the most confident with my shoulder getting into the gym. It's just, snatch is just the one lift that I gotta accept is not going to be working with it as fast as the others, because you saw yesterday I was hitting crazy weights. And unfortunately, when you go through something that's a bit more painful, that makes you feel like it's not really worth lifting too much in this current moment. It'll get to you, and it gets to the point where, I didn't really squat today either. I got to, even just doing 2 plates did not feel good. The confidence will evaporate the moment that legitimate kind of pain sets in, and it's just, as much as I want to say that it was because of my shoulder, I've also been going extremely heavy this week. I've been fucking around a little too much, so it'll be good to take a minute to just kind of chill out, give it some time to legitimately heal. And even though I initially thought that my shoulder was the main issue today, my core and my legs were also pretty fried, and it was a good day to have more of a deload. I only went to 3 plates just to get the consistency down. But other than that, it just wasn't really worth putting anything heavier, because I just didn't feel confident. And immediately after stopping and giving it some time to chill out, immediately started feeling better. So it just needed to be a lighter day today. It's going to look weird toward the end of the video, because I ended up doing some more accessory type work than, ever, because I don't do accessory work. I normally don't need to unless I have a little mini injury like this. And so I just did, it wasn't really tricep extensions. It's when I was doing like a 1-arm pull down, when that stretched my rear delt better than anything else so far, because I've been doing my resistance band accessory type movements, the static holds, and those have been really helpful. But it's only when, if you're looking at the top of your hand, pushing that back and like having a static hold behind you like you're doing a tricep extension, but because your hand isn't turned sideways, it activates the shoulder more, or at least that's what I'm feeling. I'm not a scientist about this shit, but it's obviously disappointing. It was a super high yesterday, and it's fine. That's not a bad thing whatsoever. You got to ride those highs when you have them 100%. But when the lows hit, you got to accept that they're what are necessary in the moment. And as long as you're chilling out, giving your body the rest and the time it needs to come back, that's what's going to make you bounce back twice as hard. I have bench tomorrow, and bench has been feeling really good this week. So hopefully I'll be able to do something a little bit more consistent there. And honestly, I've spent the better part of the past month doing more fuck around, find out type workouts where I'm just doing comfortable top sets for either really hard technique work or just straight up repping it out the way I typically would want to in a competition. And I really want to get some good structure back just for a little bit to get that consistency going, because the back and forth heavy stuff and just feeling it out weight by weight is really nice in the short term, but when it comes to the long term, it just is not going to be able to hold up that well. And I don't want my strength when it comes to the volume to go away either before I get back on the normal program. So I think at least after today, I'm going to start doing what's written in the program when it comes to the reps and sets, and only committing to them if they feel good enough to do. Like tomorrow's bench is what the shoulder got strained on in the first place, and it just might need to be a lighter day, which is fine. But I want to start getting back into those comfortable sets and reps of whatever my body can confidently do. You know, I don't know if that's going to be like a single top set of 5, because my highest volume week on the normal progressive overload training is sets of 5, then 3, then 1 for the power lifts, just to try it out. So, you know, if it's there, I'll give it a good attempt. And either way, it's just going to be a take it step by step kind of scenario. You know, you can't rush these things. You can't expect anything too crazy out of them. You just got to try to love every second of it, no matter how much it tries to kick back at you, and just allow it to grow at the rate that it's needing. You know, I can't force my shoulder to heal. I can give it the good accessory movements. I can give it the good confidence along the way so that when it is healed, I can jump right back into it. But it's going to heal when it wants to. You know, I give it the Epsom salt bath. I give it the massage gun. I do what I can. But again, for the most part, an injury is an injury. It's going to take whatever time it wants. And then the moment it's healed, back to it. But in the meantime, I got to stay humble. So physically, you know, I was feeling definitely down. You know, I can't even, I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like it felt good. I'm going to give it a 6.7. It truly was not there. It wasn't a bad day. Don't get me wrong. I still lifted. I still had good form. And everything moved the way that it best could. So I got to remind myself of that. Even if I'm not hitting the heavy shit, doesn't mean I'm not performing well. But it still didn't feel good. It didn't feel confident. It's not exactly what I had in mind, but that's what today's got to be for me to do better the next time. You know, it's how that hope builds upon itself. And then, you know, when I get to after tomorrow, I'm going to just take it really step by step. I'm not going to rush it whatsoever. And all in all, mentally, I can still give it like a solid 7.1. Like, it wasn't like, again, this wasn't a bad day. And I do still have as positive as a mindset as I can give myself. But I'm not going to lie to myself and feel like it was it just wasn't, the energy just wasn't there. The passion was not where I wanted it to be. And that's just something that you got to be okay with, you know? It's going to move slow sometimes. And sometimes it can move slow for longer than you want it to. But let's look at the facts. I took 4 days off, and then this is the first week back on since the strain happened. So it's not even been 2 weeks. That's nothing. And I'm still being able to throw heavy weight on all the other lifts that it's not affecting. So I got to just give it time, you know? It might take a couple weeks, it might take a month, I don't know. But at some point, it will feel back to where it was, and I won't have to worry about it. And so I just have to keep having that precognition that it's going to become better. I know it will. I've gone through enough of this to where it's not something that I'm worried about. It's just something that I gotta be mindful of, give it that care and attention it needs, and then eventually I'll get there. So, yeah, no. And I get to go to a $5 all-you-can-eat buffet at Cece's tonight? Sheesh! So why not just enjoy myself for the night? Why not just stop stressing about it and just eat a lot of food, get that carb up, regain that strength, that energy, and just do better. That's all it is. I'm going to really work on my shoulder with the band tomorrow and just try to see what all I can give it. But, you know, with the experience that I have, you really can't overwork the injured part of your body. You know, even if it feels confident, it's not like, even if you get stronger in that muscle, it's still injured. You know, it's still pulled, it's still strained, torn, whatever your situation is. It needs to heal at its own pace before you can actually put any strength behind it. So it's not like me doing increased weights or increased sets and reps is going to do anything. But yeah, today is just a time where you got to accept the fact that it is completely fine to underperform. It happens. It's a part of the process. And especially when you're hitting so many high highs in a row like I have this week, it's inevitable that you're going to run out of energy and you got to chill out for a minute and rebuild it back up. That's just how it is. And it makes me so excited to get back in the normal program because I really want to give it that time and care that it needs, you know? Not just that I want to do it, but the progressive overload training that I try to do really works very well for my body. I know that the conditioning is great and it allows me to do these fuck around recovery weeks at the rate that I want to when I deserve them. But right now I need to just step away from the heavyweight for a sec. If I can get that good set volume and get back to that good conditioning, then that's what I'm going to focus on tomorrow. So either way, I'm not going to stress it. It'll come back. It's the back and forth. It's the way it goes. It's always an up and down, and you just got to jump at it when the opportunity gives itself to you, you know? But it is completely and utterly fine that I don't feel as good as I want to, because this drop of energy, this drop of effort, this drop of success is just what makes me want to come back and do it twice as hard, do it so much better, do it so much more, just for the sake of loving the sport, you know? So give me some time, be patient. I know this was a weird video. It's not like it's been all week, but it's going to come back. It's going to be refreshed at some point. And honestly, the heavy stuff might have been impeding my recovery a little bit. So I had my fun. Let's get back to the conditioning. Because honestly, the best I felt today was doing that last set of snatches where I just did a bunch in a row. Because my legs felt great from that. My core got real stable. It wasn't hurting my shoulders like it was. It's just, it might be time to just, you know, I don't gotta PR every single week, or at least try to. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate y'all hearing me yap as I do. And I will be back tomorrow for clean and jerk and bench press. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.